All right, a very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Newsbeat on Metro TV with me, Ania Fompofo, live from the Akua studio at North Ridge. We're bringing you all the updates in the news world to you. Follow us on social media as Metro TV Ghana, on Instagram and Twitter as Metro TV_GH. We'll take a closer look at headlines. Regional Executives election by ruling MPP begins today. A comprehensive nationwide update comes up shortly. Finance Ministry releases 25 million cedis for the effective running of Parliament. A day after Speaker Alban Bobbin lamented dire financial constraints, extra 50 million cedis also released to the Ghana National Health Insurance Scheme. Now, government shifts deadline for paying arrears old school feeding caterers. Deductions to be made from monies of those who have failed to cook for a number of days due to the ongoing strike for better conditions of service. And on the international front, at least 50 civilians killed in the jihadist attack in Burkina Faso, just up Ghana. All right, we're going across the country. Let's start off with the new Petroleum Party MPP, which has started its regional delegates conference today, May 27th, to elect new executives. The Northeast, Bunno East, Western North, and Upper East are having the polls on Friday, with other regions scheduled for Saturday, May 28 and Sunday, May 29. The positions to be contested for include the regional chairperson, first regional vice chairperson, second regional vice chairperson, regional secretary and assistant regional secretary. Others are regional treasurer, regional organizer, regional women's organizer, regional youth organizer and regional Nasara coordinator. So Director of Elections Research for the party, Evans Nemako, has said that measures put in place will help to ensure a seamless and transparent process. We will speak with him shortly, but for now, let's go to the Bunno East, and Ibrahim Abode is Metro TV's correspondent from the Bunno East. He joins us on phone but to tell us more on what's going on. Okay, let's take a quick break. I think when we come back, we'll go to our correspondent in the Bunno East and get some more. Let's now go on to the phone lines, and correspondent in the Bunno East region has joined us via phone to give us updates of the elections. You're welcome. And how are you doing? How's the Bunno East actually also doing?
At the College of Health, that is where the Bunno East Regional MPP is holding their executive elections. And as we speak, delegates all over the region are here. The whole place is looking crowded. They have been assembled at the new assembly hall at the Kintampo College of where dignitaries are currently delivering their speech. And it is expected that when they are done delivering their speeches, they will kickstart the voting. So over here, we have 23 aspirants for the entire 10 positions, and we have 2 unopposed at the position of the regional youth organizer. It is only one individual, means that he is going unopposed, as well as the regional treasurer, who is also going unopposed. So these are the 2 positions that are actually going unopposed. And we have Charles Adochi, who is the regional youth organizer aspirant, who has gone unopposed. Also have Martha Boahima, who is also the regional treasurer, who has also gone unopposed. So the keen or the most anticipated category has to do with the regional chairmanship, where we had 3 candidates there, only 3 ballots. The first candidate is the young man who happens to be a contractor and a businessman. His name is Honorable Ibrahim Baba Bukari, who is aspiring. And the second on the ballot is former MCE for the Techiman South Municipal. We have Honorable Thomas Edu Apia, and then we also, he is the former Pro-Ahafo Regional Chairman of the MPP, and he's currently the Bunno East Regional Chairman of the MPP. That is Honorable Thomas Edu Apia. And then we have the former MC for Techiman South, Honorable Prince Yao Doyina, who is also aspiring. So we have 3 candidates there, keenly contested. They are all here, and we see the atmosphere, and it looks keen. You can't predict now who is going to win what or who is going to lose what, but it looks so keen over here at the Kintampo College of Health.
How peaceful is it? How peaceful are the activities going?
To be very frank, the activities so far in the Bunno East region have been peaceful throughout the campaigns, as well as this particular day. You can see supporters at the entrance of the school, supporters from both aspirants come with their musical interlude. They are playing their drums, they are singing. No one goes, against the other. They are all doing their own thing. You wouldn't know this is that or that is that until you get close to them to identify the side that you belong. So basically, the atmosphere is very peaceful, but there's also heavy security presence. The regional police command entirely are here with their men, so the whole place is peaceful as we speak.
All right, Abode, follow through. We'll get back to you for some more updates, and I'm sure that will be peaceful and it should remain so until the end of the votes cast. Now, in the Ashanti region, the Regional MPP Elections Committee, led by Simon Osei Mensah, has been addressing the press on preparations ahead of the elections on Saturday.
In the case of Mampo constituency, the case is in court. And once the court has not dealt with it, we don't want any contempt of court. So we cannot talk to that issue. The other 2 constituencies are Swamin and the Fija Secretary East. That is Aguna. These 2 we don't have. And we've requested that they should send them to us. We are sure that maybe when the corrected version we are coming, we are likely to have them. But fortunately, some of them we had the hard copies. All of them, yes.
My final question has to
conduct that election. So we cannot say we recognize we were not the people who undertook that election. So we cannot answer to that. 2, any court case that will be brought to us, we inform National, the legal team, the advice that they give to this community. That is what we use and work with.
Let's now hear from some aspirants in the region. Adum Apia is a regional MPP secretary aspirant, while Oheneba Kofi Edum Bewa is regional MPP chairman aspirant seeking to unseat the incumbent chairman, Wontumi.
All of us have gone through or have visited all the constituencies at least more than once. Some of them, for myself, some of the constituencies have been there for on 3 occasions. And it's the same people that I meet every day that I go there. And to me, everything's going on well. We don't have any problem. People are complaining. Elections, you won't get everything 100%. People make excuses for their lapses, but all is well for now.
And the baby I say, I'm the 7 previous. I'm discovered Tony Pano. I delegates and say tomatoes. But me chum say ne, a few women delegates. I'm best surprised will be a delegate a few women. I'm best surprised will be a media. Me 7 me Thomas tomatoes. Now there may am a delegate in the say. Sasemo me no bien soon. 1 delegate, 1 scholarship to America. 1 delegate, 1 scholarship to America. Meaning say wunu why all mine out to me kwa oba na say offer. Say me diffie mienu ewo akunya so na me ma 1 delegate, 1 scholarship wa. Mama pam me free office no. Mama pam me free akunya so. Me ma ya chama ya over 15 cars. na uko constituency bi Tepa any sebe Asante Achimwa constituency secretary bicycle crowd ni bi.
All right, let's now cross over to the Volta region where there was a bit of some problems and challenges, but it looks like they have overcome it. Christian Ahode is standing by to give us some aid, some updates. I'm sure he is Richard Ahyangba, who is also a member of the committee that's set to supervise the election. Christian, you're welcome. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Annie.
So tell us, how have they overcome the challenges within the Volta region as far as the elections are concerned?
Yeah, so far in the Volta region, the regional capital, everything is successful. And as I speak to you now, I'm at the Volta Technical University where the delegate congress of the regional election or the NPP regional delegate will be taking place tomorrow in the regional capital. So as I speak to you now, in the Volta Technical University, all the party or the aspirants or the supporters of our various aspirants are mounting their posters and buttons in the premises. So you can see the premises here in the Volta Technical University. It's looking very beautiful, meaning they are all ready for the election tomorrow. And when we also talk about security, security is fully assured. Speaking to the regional police commander earlier on, he also assured me that even 20 officers will be coming from Accra to assist them tomorrow in the Volta Technical University. So with me here this morning or this afternoon, I also have the secretary to the election committee of the Volta region, Mr. Richard Ahyangba, who is also with me here to throw light after tomorrow's election. Mr. Richard, you are welcome to Metro News.
Mr. Richard.
Thank you very much. What is the preparation towards tomorrow?
Well, I think you've captured that rather well. We're here at the Volta Technical University, the auditorium, where we are going to have the elections tomorrow. It looks all set. Preparations are ongoing. The aspirants have their representatives here putting up their banners. I've seen some national aspirants whose banners are up here. As far as the committee is concerned, we are far advanced with our preparations. There are a few things yet that we need to attend to, and we're working with some reasonable speed to try to get all our acts together and ensure that the election is peaceful tomorrow.
Talking about security, how preparation are you?
Well, I think that you were here when the regional command was here. We went through some conversation with them. They were here to do their own survey and see what is it their plan will be, and we kind of met whilst we were doing that. So they assured us that indeed they are prepared. They have some a good amount of men who will be here. They will get support from Accra. So our confidence is that they are on top of their job and that we'll focus on putting together a very smooth process tomorrow to ensure that there is a peaceful election, and by the end of the day, the Volta region will have new regional executives to direct the affairs of the party.
When it comes to election like this, sometimes it's the party supporters who like to cause trouble. What advice do you have for the various supporters of and to the various candidates?
Well, I wouldn't say cause trouble, but just enthusiasm. We put plans in place to ensure that there's orderliness tomorrow. So essentially, it's a delegate conference, a delegate congress. We're showing that all those who will be allowed in tomorrow will be those who have something to do with the main activity of the day. We're going to control crowd in a manner that it will not degenerate. We'll liaise with the police later on this afternoon. The committee is supposed to meet at 2 p.m. When that meeting happens, afterwards, we have scheduled to meet with the regional command and update them and kind of finalize our arrangements with them to ensure that there is absolute peace tomorrow. But I will make sure party people have an atmosphere to enjoy and participate in the process. But those who will be in the auditorium will be only accredited delegates who will be allowed in to participate in the process.
Is the hall so far big to contain the delegates?
Absolutely, you saw it, and the hall is capable. I think we're looking, give or take, some 400 delegates to be in there tomorrow. I think the total number will just be probably less than 400, but we're estimating 400. And if that's what we have, the auditorium is big enough to handle them.
Thank you very much, Annie. That is the voice from the Secretary of the Election Committee, Richard Ahiagba. And Metro News will keep eyes on latest developments from the Volta region. Over to you there.
Thank you very much, Christian, for the updates. Now, let's take the updates from other regions. Let's now cross over to the northern region, where the regional crime officer of the Ghana Police Service, CSP Bernard Baba Ananga, says adequate security is in place to ensure peaceful elections.
Some people were picked up. These were some suspicious characters who were found in there, not even an accreditation card, nothing to show their presence here. How they managed to get in there, they've forgotten that when we got here early this dawn, we decided to scan our environments. We went in and researched and we found initially 5 of them. Subsequently, due to the vigilance of the police, we managed to get another person who was in the secret room making some calls, which we are finding out what are those calls. So for now, we want to give the assurance to you, the public, delegates, persons who find themselves here, that they are safe and can go about their business without problems. Delegates, VVIPs, ministers are also here, other personalities are also here. And also, you know, of the issues of terrorism, where we think that we have to beef up our security, ensure that we scan each and everyone coming in, and then to also make our environment safe. So that's the reason why you see we have increased the number of policemen. Our numbers are up. And you also see our patrol teams are out there.
Metro TV's D Papa is joined us via phone to tell us more. Alhassan, thank you for your time. Good afternoon to you. So what's happening? Yes, where are you currently, and what can you tell us, in relation to the elections ahead of us?
Yes, Annie, we are currently at the Aliu Muhammad Sports Stadium, where the MPP Northern Regional Delegates Conference is set to take place.
So we've run out on D Baba. We'll go back to him for some more details as the producers work around that. Now, majority in Parliament says that Finance Ministry has released an amount of 25 million for the effective running of Parliament. The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Babin, yesterday lamented the dire financial constraints Parliament is currently facing. Revealing the development to the press, the Majority Chief Whip, Frank Anodon said the government has also released an extra 50 million Ghana cedis to the National Health Insurance Scheme.
Going forward, we don't want to have any banter of the Speaker. But where we think that things need to be straightened, we find a very much more, for want of a better expression, a much more diplomatic way of reaching out to ensure that we have peace and coexist in a peaceful manner for the progress and the execution of the work of Parliament. So it's to emphasize that the 25 million goods and services due Parliament has been duly released. It's hit the account of Parliament, and therefore there should be no cause of alarm. Further, a 50 million due the NHIA has also been released. I want to put on record that going forward, to avoid some of these presumptuous statements and unfortunate statements coming out, we are going to liaise closely with the Minister of Finance. I'm sure this is a matter of communication.
Meanwhile, the Majority Chief Whip, Frank Anodon has also argued that the Speaker of Parliament erred in directing the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, to account for all COVID-19 related expenditure before the House. According to him, the Speaker doesn't wield the power to block approval of loans.
Earlier monies spent on COVID, there has not been some transparency or accountability, and therefore they wouldn't allow that. I had moved a motion for the question not to be put. You know, there had been the debate, and we were just on the verge of the speaker putting the question. Then I had moved that you shouldn't put the question because I thought that we needed to do some more consultation. And you recall that Speaker had ruled that he's giving directive that unless the finance minister comes to the house to more or less render an account of monies released in relation to COVID, they will not be allowed for that agreement or motion to take it. I also felt it was a bit unfortunate because, you know, and here I'm choosing my word and expressions carefully. The speaker has no persona on his own. For those of you who have followed Parliament, such decision has to be the sense of the House. So he communicates the sense of the House, but he cannot communicate his own decision.
Right, so that's from Parliament. Let's go back to the Northern, and Hassan Dibaba will give us updates on what's going on with the MPP. Al-Hassan, thank you for joining us once again. So you were saying something that, you know, you are at the stadium, so add the rest of the story to it.
Thank you so much. Yes, like I said earlier, we are at the Tamale Sports Aliyu Muhammad Sports Stadium, where the MPP Northern Regional Delegates Conference is set to take place. And it is very important to mention that earlier today, there was misunderstanding between the aspirants as to how many delegates are supposed to take part in this election. And according to one of the parties, yesterday the election committee agreed with them that those who were removed from the register, I am talking of the Council of Elders and the Council of Patrons, who were removed from the register, are not going to vote, and those appointed to replace them are not also going to vote. But the information we are picking up is the fact that those they replace them with are preparing to vote, which the other party or those who are against it are saying that if they are going to vote, there will be violence at the place because they are not going to agree to them voting in this conference. Meanwhile, security is very tight at the ground. Talking of outside, people are being scanned thoroughly before they come into the sports stadium to monitor the event. Meanwhile, even if you don't have accreditation, they won't allow you into the inner premises of the sports stadium, not even talk of coming into where the event is taking place. So security is very tight there. Meanwhile, a number of people have been arrested for bringing in fake accreditation cards into the sports stadium. So the police arrest about 7 people for bringing in fake accreditation cards into the sports stadium. So currently the deputy transport minister is on the floor speaking to delegates before the start of the event. So things are going on well at the place, even though we are not certain it will be the same thing till the end.
Right, Al-Hassan, how about peaceful elections? Is everybody, aspirants, satisfied with all the processes to date?
Yes, all the aspirants, even though all the aspirants are not yet in, many of them are in already with their aides or with their supporters. Meanwhile, the election committee of the region allow each aspirant to come in with 5 supporters or 5 of their aides. So they are in monitoring events, even though the thing has not yet started.
Right, Al-Hassan, thank you for the updates. We'll get back to you for some more details. Follow Metro TV. Our men are, you know, also all over the place across the country, where they'll be giving us up-to-the-minute updates of what will be happening. Some aspiring executives for the MPP in the Central Region have expressed disappointment following the suspension of the elections. Metro TV's correspondent Akwesiato has been engaging some of them and joins us via Zoom with the updates as well. Akwesiato, thank you so much for the work done for us. So far, what can you tell us? We know that this election is not happening today. How are the, delegates dealing with the issue?
Okay, Annie, so it was less than 24 hours to the exercise when the announcement was made by the incumbent regional chairman of the party, who himself is also contesting the election, seeking to be re-elected into office as the regional chairman. At the time the announcement came, some delegates had already arrived at the venue, as well as some aspirants who have also arrived at the venue with their campaign team members. Now, we do know that the central region is a bit sparse with regards to their constituencies. Imagine someone traveling from Kaswa or somewhere around Winneba through to Dunkawonofin. It's such a very long and hectic journey, but they had no option but to return to their bases when the announcement was being made. Now, I've been engaging some of the aspirants who say that, in fact, they have actually already incurred some sort of cost because they had made arrangements for their campaign team members and some delegates with regards to accommodation. And we do know that such amounts are not refundable. Now, what it means also is that they would have to perhaps reinvest in their campaigns because we do know that the dynamics can change, especially with regards to this kind of elections where delegates are easily swayed by opposing or opponent candidates. So they would have to reinvest into their campaign, speak to delegates, and then try to have them vote for them in the elections. Now, when you get to Ekumfi, I have been engaging Edward Imuna. He is part of the aggrieved members who took the party to the court. What he's been telling me is that they are so far content with the decision taken by the party to withhold the elections. Now, what he has also been saying is that they would still press on for their demands and that until the party ensures that the constituency elections are being held at Ekumfi, they would start any other efforts to have the regional executive elections held here in the central region.
Right, Akwesi, to find some food to eat and make sure you're prepared for the work ahead of us from today till Sunday, probably. So thank you. I know that your region is not holding it, but let us know how the executives and the delegates will be managing themselves within this period that the party itself is going for the regional elections. We'll get back to you later on in the day. So let's go to Eastern Region, and the Eastern Region also holds the MPP Regional Executive Elections on Saturday. Information reaching Metro TV is that 2 aspirants have stepped down from contesting. We have the correspondent Kofi Ejay to tell us which positions these aspirants have pulled out of and why. Kofi, thank you for your time. Tell us, so who are these aspirants who have stepped down? Well, we can hear some music on the background that, Ginger's party faithfuls.
Yeah,
So,
Annie,
yes.
Annie, the Honorable Nana Kufuor is the one stepping down at the second vice chairman position, and one of Okubita Da Costa also stepping down as treasurer. These 2 people stepped down at the last day when they were doing the balloting. They phoned in to the vetting committee that they are no more interested. When we contacted them for their reasons, they refused to talk about it, and the vetting committee also refused to talk about their step down and their reasons. But Annie, talking about stepping down is the reason why the region is hot now. Prior to this election, there was information in the air that we cannot confirm that there was a call from the presidency that one Honorable Jeff Kunadu, who was their secretary, the regional secretary, contesting for the chairmanship position now, and one Polamani who contested last 4 years ago, were asked to step down by the president for one Kojo Ajimambuate to come in. But looking at things, Jeff Fred refused to step down, but Polamani did so and went in for the second vice position. And because Jeff refused to step down, everybody is watching. If he refusing to step down, will yield any result at the end of the election. That is why the region is very hot now, going forward tomorrow, and we are looking forward who will yield, who will be emerge the winner at the chairmanship position, especially.
Okay, so Kofi, even though they have not really giving their reasons, does the step down, accrue some advantage for the aspirants who are still running?
I don't think so. For the second vice position, the contest will still be hot because Polamani, who stepped down, the last time we talked to him, he said he stepped down because the vetting committee or whoever was telling him that he's not much experience, so he needs to step down for another position. But the other ones who are contesting, like Frank Appiah, who is the former chairman for Ekapum North constituency, and Otin Adu, Michael Otin, who is a former vice chairman to Azuja South. These two people are going to make the contest very hard. It will be easy for them at all. These three people are going to contest, but Frank Appiah and Otin Adu will make the contest very hot. But as for money stepping down because of call from the presidency, we don't know what will happen if they are going to work out anything for him to make the winner or not. So everybody is there watching closely to see what will happen on Saturday evening.
And we're watching closely with you to see what's going to be the outcome. So Kofi, keep an eye on the region, because that is about the second region that is also keenly contested. It's actually raising a lot of interest from there. So we're following what's going on in the Ashanti region, where one of the very popular Chairman Wontumi, of course, that is the MPP stronghold in the Ashanti region, being contested. Reasons being that those who are contesting him think that, well, you've given promises you didn't fulfill, you have abandoned and ignored the grassroots, and you are only focusing on yourself and not the party. So a lot of reasons are being given why Chairman Wontumi is being challenged, and the chairmanship in the Ashanti region is really being contested. We've moved from the Ashanti, we've gone to the northern. It's peaceful. All aspirants are satisfied. We're seeing how the outcome will be. In the Volta region, there was a challenge of the venue, that the university, but it has been settled that we're still using the venue for the elections, and that's also have been settled. The central region is also on hold because of the courts giving the notification that we have placed an injunction on it. You're not running it until maybe the constituency election is held. So let's see how the party also pulls through with those pockets of challenges that just come up, to give them a full set before they get to the national level where the elections will be held. You're still watching News BT on Metro TV. We'll go for a quick breather. We'll be back. Welcome back to News Beat. We still have some more stories coming up. And after failing to fulfill a promise to pay caterers under the school feeding program this week, the government has once again assured the caterers they will receive their monies next week. Caterers under the school feeding program withdrew their services due to the government's failure to pay them. There's more in the following report.
Caterers lament that for 2 terms now, they have not received their monies, and they say this is collapsing their businesses. They are also demanding an increase in their allocation from 93 pesos per child to 3 Ghana cedis. Due to the high cost of food items and the current economic situation in the country, it is making it impossible for them to feed the pupils. Last week, the government stated that financial clearance had been given for the caterers to be paid this week. But in an interview, the head of public relations of the Ghana School Feeding Secretariat, Efia Siba, said the caterers should expect payment next week instead. Management of the program, in a release dated 24th May 2022, mentioned caterers who failed to cook for a number of days during the second term of 2022 will suffer deductions when their grants are finally paid. The management also said those who would fail to cook for the entire second term of 2022 will not be paid. This is not the first time the caterers are demanding an increase in the allocation. In 2021, a section of the caterers chided the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Sarah Joasafo, for failing to address their concerns. They said increasing the allocation to 3 cedis will ensure that they are able to provide quality and adequate meals for pupils. The Ghana School Feeding Program is an initiative of the Comprehensive Africa Agricultural Development Program Pillar 3, which seeks to enhance food security and reduce hunger in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals on hunger, poverty, and malnutrition. The government currently provides 93 pesos for a child per day for a plate of food. The amount is considered inadequate to provide an adequate and healthy diet for child development.
Now, nutritionists in the country have been charged to update their knowledge in food sciences, especially on the health benefits of eggs, and in order to clear some myths among the public and increase intake. A health expert at the Ayawaso West Municipal Directorate of the Ghana Health Service, Mirabel Asobaya, charged some 40 nutritionists during a training with the Ghana National Egg Campaign Secretariat in Accra.
Of protein in Ghana. This notwithstanding, a survey by the University of Ghana Nutrition Department in 2019 revealed that eggs consumption in the country is 115 per capita. This means the average Ghanaian consumes 115 eggs if one egg is eaten each day out of the 365 days in a year. Health experts blame this low intake on some wrong perceptions people hold about eggs.
Based fact researchers have proven that dietary cholesterol doesn't have any link or equal to blood cholesterol. Can I mention that again? Dietary cholesterol doesn't necessarily amount to blood cholesterol. So that is significant association, as we always say. Okay, there's nothing like that. So the amount of food you eat daily doesn't amount to the liver always have its way of controlling cholesterol in the body. It has a balanced cholesterol mechanism in the body that balances it. The only way your cholesterol level could trigger or go up is when you have genetics, hereditary factors.
Speaking to the media on the sidelines of a trainer of trainers session for 40 selected nutrition officers with the Ghana Health Service in Accra, an officer with the Ayawaso West Health Directorate, Mirabel Asombaya, urged the acquisition of new knowledge by these health workers in a bid to boost healthy eating.
Because they are expected to go back to their own small corners and engage others, their colleague professionals, from doctors to nurses, midwives, and all that, okay, in the ladder of health. Engage all sectors, even the communities.
While training nutritionists on eggs intake, she urged poultry farmers to form unions to arrive at better pricing for eggs for affordability. Some nutrition officers participating in the training shared what they learned with the media.
What I'm much more in particular with is also with regards to the cholesterol levels, and that is something new I've also learned today. Yeah, initially I didn't share the view that dietary cholesterol could not affect blood cholesterol, but today with the training and the explanation and the researches that was done, it has actually helped to inform me, give me an informed decision that dietary cholesterol does not affect blood cholesterol.
It's weight loss. I've learned something very good today, that egg actually has a very great satiety value, around 150 compared to eating fries, biscuits, and whatnot. So it could actually help with weight loss instead of increasing weight.
Eggs are described as superfoods because they contain over 40 nutrients such as vitamin D for strong teeth and bones, antioxidants such as lutein that prevents sight loss in old age, otherwise called macular degeneration. Eggs also boost brain development, as to the reason why consumption is encouraged among pregnant women and children.
So, interesting story there. Eat eggs to boost your brain development. You're watching News BT on Metro TV. We'll take the business updates now. Now, on the business front, Managing Director of National Investment Bank Samuel Sapon says the rapid rise in public debt in Ghana is more efficient reason for innovative development financing. He spoke at the 2022 Association of African Development Finance Institutions annual general meeting in Accra.
Africa has over the years made some strides in the area of banking and finance, agriculture, education, health and infrastructure development. However, the COVID-19 pandemic brought increased debt stock, gravely affecting some economies. To be able to face emerging challenges, the role of African development finance institutions must continue to evolve to reflect the continent's economic development and transformation. Speaking at the annual General Assembly meeting of the Association of African Development Finance Institutions, Head of Banking and Supervision, Bank of Ghana, Osei Jesse, said African development finance institutions need to be innovative in policy making to enhance returns.
By their mandate, have the potential to bridge government financing constraints through the provision of the much needed medium to long-term funding for development projects to promote job creation and sustainable economic growth. Mr. Chairman, COVID-19 unleashed multiple shocks on the global economy, bringing several economies to a synchronized standstill that triggered a sizable economic contraction in 2020. The global response to the pandemic was massive and swift, comprising fiscal and monetary policies and macroprudential measures to moderate the devastating effects.
Now, the African Development Bank's annual meeting comes to an end today. The fifth event hosted here in Accra is to seek solutions to climate change crisis, poor intra-African trade, the spiraling unemployment rate in Africa, amongst other challenges confronting the continent. Let's cross over to the event grounds, the Accra International Conference Center, where my colleague Kenneth Chessy is standing by to tell us more about this program. Kenneth, thank you for joining us. You're welcome. Good afternoon.
Innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship have gathered here at the Accra International Conference Center to find a lasting solution to the plethora of issues confronting the continent of Africa. Climate change is big on the agenda. Africa is getting warmer and drier than the rest of the world. Also, sea levels are rising faster than the global average. It is estimated that 600 million Africans lack electricity. How does this help our industrialization drive? The people there are discussing that. Also, 900 million Africans lack access to clean cooking facilities. In fact, 4 in 5 Africans cook with solid biomass like charcoal and wood. This results in 600,000 deaths across the continent every year. Also big on the agenda is trade within Africa. It is estimated that that sector has a wealth of $2.2 trillion US. That's how much we're getting, but there are a lot of hindrances to that particular place. One of them is infrastructure. It is difficult for an African to move within Africa than a European to move within Europe. How do we construct railways from Accra to Ouagadougou, from Kigali to Lusaka? The people in the building are discussing that. They are also discussing the unemployment issue, rising inflation across the continent caused by COVID-19, and also the Russian-Ukraine war are also being discussed in this building. A lot is going on. Today is the final day, as I indicated earlier. President Akufo-Addo was here. The Vice President of La Côte d'Ivoire was also here. The President of Tanzania was also here earlier. They're all here to these plethora of issues confronting the continent. Africa Development Bank, the organizers of this program, are also canvassing for support.
Hannah Jesse, who's been with the team throughout the week, will brief us on all that has happened at the Accra International Conference Center. The big agenda, of course, is climate change. Now, you're still watching Newsbeat here on Metro TV. It's time for sports.
Let's focus on week 31 of the Ghana Premier League and find out who is playing, who can find will be at Babaya Sports Stadium against Great Olympics. That should be a cracker. Aduana Stars will welcome Dreams FC. RTU, that is Real Tamale United, will play 11 Wonders. And on Monday, Saturday, it will wrap up with Accra Hasselhoff at the Accra Sports Stadium. After that health scare, they will play against Karela United. For the latest in showbiz.
News. I am Desmond Okreku-Danso, and in entertainment, an all-new brass band group, the Kentus Music Band, was launched yesterday, and the premium band is set to bring an all-new experience to live band music performance in Ghana.
Although the band has been playing for a while now, it was officially launched yesterday at the Sky Bar here in Accra. The Kentus Music Band is a 14-member band made up of 7 horsemen, 3 drummers, a percussionist, a saxophonist, and 2 singers who have come to be known as a unique music band, quite different from the bands around. The band plays without any electronic instrument such as keyboards, bass guitar, or lead, which are usually part of a live band set. Speaking to Metro News, co-founder and leader of the band, Echo Joe, said they are officially coming out to be more visible to the general public and are excited about the new journey they'll be embarking on. Present at the launch were musicians Kim Promise and Pride Tetia, who performed with the band to the excitement of patrons. Some people who were present at the event spoke to Metro News about the band.
I was born in the part of the country where brass band music is very prominent, Winneba. So I understand this kind of music. And listening to their sound check and what they've done with different genres and different soundtracks, it's incredible.
I was saying that for me, it's not just a night where we listen to music, it's an event. Because they make it very entertaining and they can switch for different type of music, Afrobeat, pop, R&B, and then everybody is satisfied.
The Kentus Music Band treated music lovers and patrons at the launch with some breathtaking music, and it was a vibe. For Metro News, Desmond Okreku-Danso.
And that's all for entertainment. I am Desmond Okreku-Danso. Back to Annie for the rest of the bulletin.
The Star Wars, that's indeed exciting. But let's cross over for some sad news just at the border of Ghana. You're welcome back now. Around 50 people have been killed by armed assailants in eastern Burkina Faso, authorities report. According to the survivors, the victims were traveling to a town in a nearby commune of Palma, which is close to the country's border with Benin and Togo, while trying to escape a blockade set up by extremists. Now, the area is said to be struggling with Islamist extremist violence, but it was not immediately clear who was behind the latest attack. And that's all we have.